Today is January 26, 2021. My name is Charles Suter. I'm going to be presenting Overcoming the Fear of Change. My main message is that there is opportunity in every change. You just have to look for it and find it and take advantage of it. And even if you can't control the change, you can at least control your attitude. Let me distinguish between fear and a phobia. A fear is a natural emotion that protects people from harm when they face real and imminent danger. A phobia is an excess fear or anxiety related to a specific object or situation and all out of proportion to the actual physical danger they represent. Thus, normal fears are healthy and appropriate as they can warn you to take immediate action to avoid harm to a clear and present danger. Phobias, however, are irrational and result in excessive fear that serves no useful purpose. Irrational fears serve only to keep you bound to your comfort zone, and they limit your options for living an expansive life. The short-term solution to overcoming the fear of change is to take charge and steer your response to change to your advantage. The long-term solution to overcoming the fear of change is improving your self-esteem by gaining more positive experiences, factual insights, and building rational beliefs. A healthy self-esteem can be acquired over time with good intentions and positive efforts and the guidance of a trained therapist or counselor. Proposition 1. This is a reminder. The fear of change is a psychological, not a physical threat. The fear of change is a result of a lack of confidence in one's coping ability. People with a lack of confidence also suffer from low self-esteem. Hence, the lack of self-confidence in coping oftentimes is a result of low self-esteem. Threats to one's comfort zone coupled with low self-esteem will naturally cause fear. The fear of change falls into the phobia category when no physical threat exists. People with the fear of change believe they are not good enough to handle the change and thus believe they will end up with a loss or worse off than they were before. They erroneously believe that any change from the status quo can only bring them misfortune, pain, and sorrow. They lack confidence in their ability to steer change into a useful and desirable way. A person with a healthy self-esteem might be worried about the future amongst pending changes, but they use the urgency of the situation to A. prepare themselves by gaining insights as to the future direction of change, and B. strive actively to meet any challenges with concerted actions so as to influence the outcome. Rational worry should not lead to fear, but instead it should lead to appropriate actions based on the knowledge gained on how to influence desirable outcomes. Remember this: rational worry leads to action, not to irrational fear. The more you prepare, the more and less you worry. Proposition 2. Excessive psychological fears are unhealthy and unnecessary. Any fear out of proportion to the threat is called a phobia. This is a psychological threat and it can be dealt with a psychological remedy. The remedy for a psychological threat is action plus change in perception and beliefs. Knowing the distinction between a fear, and a phobia allows you to pick the right cure. The wrong approach to fear of change is to do nothing, fearing for the worst and actually passively awaiting for it. Instead, fear offers a new opportunity to pursue personal ambitions. This is the way you need to look at change. Opportunity and waiting. The real source of excessive fear is not necessarily the change itself, but instead the misconceived and irrational beliefs that one's safety and comfort and ambitions are at risk. Fears are 100% mental, based on misperception and false beliefs. Fear can be cured by altering the causes that are erroneous notions and beliefs based on A, memory of stressful changes from the past. It could be due to improper information and perceptions about the future, but most likely they're also due to low self-esteem, either in self-confidence or self-worth. Proposition 3. Psychological fears and phobias are best treated with cognitive reorientation. Become informed about your sources of the fears. Correct any misinformation. Seek potential sources of opportunity in every change. Correct any irrational beliefs you might have about yourself, the future, others. Prepare early and position yourself for success. Build your self-confidence. If you suffer from the fear of change, you simply need to spend more time planning on how to deal with change, protecting your interests, and position yourself to take personal advantage of the change as it becomes clear what actions are appropriate. To repeat, worry is a useful emotion because it prompts you to prepare more and work harder. However, fear that motivates you to avoid change and to abandon any ambitious goals that you might have is not useful at all. Preparedness builds self-confidence that you can handle yourself during periods of change. In the short term, preparedness and positive actions converts immobilizing fear into confidence of success. In the long term, building high self-esteem eliminates all irrational fears, including the fear of change. My final message: embrace the change, find the opportunities therein, and act fast. You can recover from excessive irrational fears and phobias simply by A, gaining accurate perceptions of reality, that's information. Building more confidence by thinking ahead and preparing yourself to seek out opportunities. This gives you motivation. And most importantly, fostering a healthy self-esteem with positive affirmations, such as this one. No matter what happens, I can handle it. This is a focus on developing rational, positive beliefs. That's all for now. Remember to stay positive. You'll be happier, healthier, and live longer.